Welcome to Women's Sports Weekly, where women's sports happen every day, but we talk about it once a week. I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Danielle. Women's Sports Weekly is a podcast where we discuss the latest news, explore interesting stories, and share our love for women's sports. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at WomensSportsWeeklyPod. Follow us and rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Send us an email at womenssportsweeklypod@gmail.com, and we may feature your email on the Les, our listeners' experience zone.
How you doing first week into 2026?
Good. No complaints. How are you doing?
Just no complaints?
Not at this very moment. I mean, I feel like it's been a long week and I know there's a lot of crappy things that have happened in the world, but in this very moment, I'm feeling okay. How about you?
It's funny because I saw my best friend this past week and I was like, 2026 is going to be a good year for me. I don't know if it's going to be a good year for everybody else, but I'm like willing it to happen.
Why not?
Why not? I didn't share this last week, but I do have one big goal, and that's to get a big butt this year. So you've been on the journey with me of Operation Bubble Butt 2026.
I'm excited for you and your big booty goals.
You're just naturally big booty Brogan. You were gifted with amazing genetics. Me, I have to fight a little bit harder to get any kind of curvature in my back area.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
You think?
Yeah. You just have to follow Ilya's, whatever he was doing.
I know. Don't worry, y'all. We're on rewatch 3 of Heated Rivalry. And yeah, he's posted that he does some deficit squats. Connor Story, who plays Ilya Rozanov in Heated Rivalry. So I've been doing them.
Yeah.
Bulgarian split squats. Send me your butt routine, y'all. I need it.
Oof. We did some Bulgarian split squats at the gym this week. And I said to you after that workout that those are my arch nemesis.
Yeah.
They're rough. My legs have been feeling it ever since.
Yeah, I'm doing the single leg things. I'm doing the squats. I'm very quad dominant, hamstring dominant. So I got to learn to use my butt.
You can do it. I'm pretty quad dominant too. And I've been trying to work on my glutes and hamstrings because I've had this hamstring pain forever now. But I don't know.
Maybe I'm more hamstring dominant.
Maybe.
I don't know what I am, but I'm definitely not glute dominant.
It's a hard thing to do.
When you see me walking around with a big butt, you can congratulate me, okay? And otherwise, don't say anything. You could lie to me too, but...
All right. Well, we'll be checking in on your big booty goals as the year goes on.
Should I stand up and give everyone a view of my butt each week?
I don't know. I'll keep people on track.
You'll keep people updated.
Another great thing about the start of this year is I said I wanted to cook more, and I think I've just about cooked myself out this weekend. But Friday night, so we went to Kenya, over 2 years ago now, which is really hard to believe. Or no.
It'll be 2 years in October.
Okay, so less than 2 years. But ever since we left that trip, I've been saying I want to make our favorite meal from there, which is chapati and dengu. And for whatever reason, we just have not done it. And this past weekend, we did it with our friends, and it came out so good. While me and Harold made ndengu, you learned how to make chapati with Grant, and it was so good. Now I want you to make chapati every day for me.
I'm a chapati queen. I know how to fold it. I know how to get some lamination. Thank you, Great British Bake Off, for teaching me about lamination and butter. It was really fun. In order to make the chapati, you have to let it prove and you have to get it into this nice ball. I struggled with that a little bit, but the lamination process and the pleating, I was good at.
You were so good. And the chapati was absolutely delicious. Oh, that flaky bread. I just want it every day of my life.
Anything with that much butter is bound to be good.
Yes. And the ndengu was delicious as well.
For sure. And then the following night, we had my best friend over and her husband, who's been helping us with the basement. So shout out, Sean. Thank you. Thank you.
I need to cook Sean all the meals.
And you made, Jen, my best friend, specifically wanted chicken cutlets. And you made some really good chicken cutlets and like an amazing lemon pasta and such a good Caesar salad. It was like very Italian, New Jersey, delicious.
It was. And now I think I'm all cooked out for the rest of the week. So good luck.
Okay, that's fine. I can survive off eggs because Lord knows that I'm not cooking anything.
God help me.
But I will help you. I did so much better when someone was like, okay, take this and then do this. Take this and then do this. I just don't want to pull up a stupid thing on my phone and get the things together. Like, I don't know what it is about it. It just, I don't like it.
Oh boy. I don't know what to tell you about that. Anyways, the other thing we did this weekend, insulation, Operation Insulation in our basement. People, we're getting there.
We are getting there, but the insulation was annoying, as is everything in our basement, and it's itchy because it's made up of all these little fiberglass. And of course we did it wrong and had to redo parts of it because that's how everything goes in our basement.
But you know what? We're getting there little by little. Updates will continue. We'll let you know as we get closer and closer to being done.
Well, you'll know when we're done because our location will change. We will be in the basement because it's going to be our new recording studio, and all that insulation, you know what? All the insulation we did this past weekend is going to help with the sound.
There you go. There you go.
All right, let's get into the highlight reel for this week. Danielle, what do you have for us?
So if you've been a longtime listener, you have heard me speak about my days as a Division III college basketball player. So I have a soft spot in my heart for Division III, which doesn't always get a lot of coverage because it's not.
No, it doesn't get any coverage.
Easy
it gets
over there.
limited coverage.
Easy over there. We did talk about Scranton women's basketball this year because they beat Pitt.
Yep.
So they get some coverage. But this time I want to talk about NYU women's basketball because they have not lost a game since March 11th, 2023. Crazy.
Before this podcast started.
Yeah, that's insane. So they're currently on a 74-game win streak, which is now the fourth longest NCAA women's basketball winning streak in the history across all divisions.
That's amazing.
Amazing. With this streak, that means they've been undefeated for quite a while, right? So they were undefeated the past 2 seasons, which also means they won the past 2 NCAA Division III national titles.
That's awesome.
And last season, the 2024-2025 season, they averaged 88 points per game and only let up 50 points per game. So that just shows their domination on both ends of the floor. There's been some questions coming up of should they change divisions? Do they stay in the same division? But that pretty much requires all the sports to change divisions and conferences. It's just not something that could be done overnight, so I don't foresee that happening. But kudos to them, kudos to their coach, because obviously they have mastered Division III. They are very good, and hopefully they're just setting the standard and other teams will start to catch up.
Yeah, when UConn went on their winning streak, it wasn't like we should create a new division for them. They were just dominant.
Yeah, the hard thing about Division III is you don't get scholarships to go play at a Division III school. And a lot of players, if they can play Division II or Division I, they're going to because they're getting money to go there. So that definitely is a huge limiting factor. But NYU has figured it out. So it's pretty cool. I just love to see Division III schools in the news.
That's awesome. And also, NYU is a very expensive school. So to not get a scholarship to play there is a lot for those women who play basketball for them.
Yes. And then next up, we will stick with the women's basketball train, but we will go up to Division I and talk about LSU versus Texas, who played this past weekend. At the time of the game, LSU was number 12, Texas was number 2, and LSU gave Texas their first loss of the season. LSU won this game 70-65, and this is the first time in 16 years that they knocked off a top 2 opponent.
And to think that, like, just last week we were talking about LSU's first loss of the season to Kentucky. Then they went on that week to lose to Vanderbilt. They were on a 2-game losing streak in the SEC. They come into this game and they dominate. They dominated this game against Texas. It was a very close game, but they were just dominant in the game. They came out with such a fire in them. The SEC is just such a hard conference to play in, and we're just going to see these teams beat up on each other.
One of the things I noticed, and in the past 2 LSU games that we've watched this year, both have been at LSU. The crowd is just the best. Like, love or hate Kim Mulkey, but I truly believe she plays such a big role in getting people in those seats, and people love the culture at LSU, love the basketball culture. They love Kim Mulkey. I mean, you can see people dress up as her in the stands. They often have dresses Kim Mulkey days because she's known for her outfits. And I don't consider myself a fan of LSU, but I would love to go see a game at that arena.
For sure. If they want to bring us out, yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah. So many moments of the game where LSU hit big shots. The crowd is just going nuts. The players go nuts. Then the players get fired up from the crowd and vice versa. And it just looks like such a fun environment to be in. We talked about this game being very close. The first half, though, very low scoring.
Yeah, I remember looking. The first quarter had ended, and I think it was 9-9. And I was like, oh, boy.
I mean, in the middle of the second quarter, I look up at 16-16, and I was like, this is really low scoring. Both teams picked it up a little going through the second quarter, and by the time it was halftime, LSU was up 30-25. They ended the half with a buzzer beater.
A buzzer beater.
Wow. This is what happens when I try to talk too fast. All right, bring it back here. They ended the half. I
think that's what we should call it from now on. A buzzer beater. Buzzer beater.
Okay. They ended the first half with a buzzer beater by Jada Richard. This was such an awesome play because Texas had the ball, and I'm like, is Texas going to get a shot off? Jada steals the ball on the opposite end of the court, pushes the ball up the court. It was like less than 5 seconds left, and then she hits an elbow jumper at the buzzer. And again, the whole arena just exploded, and they took that momentum going into the locker room, and they definitely started the third quarter with that same momentum.
I just can't get buzzer beater out of my head.
A few things I noticed during this game, and I've talked about Madison Booker on this podcast a ton. She is a junior now on Texas. She's an unbelievable player. She's so long and lanky, so strong. She sometimes gets into foul trouble, which she did during this game, and you could just tell the frustration on her. But she did bounce back, and she literally was the only person for a while in the fourth quarter who scored from the floor for Texas. And she went on a 12-point run by herself to keep them in the game in the fourth quarter.
And with 4 fouls. She got her 4th foul early in the fourth quarter and could just continue to play the entire game.
She's not really a 3-point shooter. I think they said up to this game. Before this game, she only has made like 8 all season. And then she hit a few in the fourth quarter to keep them in the game. But other players on Texas just struggled. Rory Harmon did not play the entire fourth quarter, which is like so unusual, and they didn't really know why. There was nothing definitive as to why she wasn't playing, or Vic Schaefer just was keeping her on the bench.
To me, there has to be something wrong. You don't have someone like Rory Harmon who's just so smart, not in the fourth quarter. Even if she's not scoring, she's doing other things well. So I have to think there was something else going on. That would be very strange to me.
Yeah, I agree. The announcers were speculating. We were speculating. So I hope she's okay because she's dealt with quite a few injuries. So that really would suck. But hopefully she's good. Back to Madison Booker. I would say part of the frustration is how good LSU was playing defense on her. Mikaylah Williams was on her for most of the game. And talk about another great player. Mikaylah Williams, her energy and the way she plays on both ends of the court is just undeniable.
And she always makes good decisions. She's very intuitive. She's really, really smart. I say it every week. She's my favorite person to watch in the NCAA.
Yeah, there was a point in the fourth quarter where I was like, oh, Texas, I think it was a 2-possession game at like a 4-point game at that point. I was like, come on, Texas could get a stop here and keep it rolling. And the shot clock was going down. Who drains a 3 in the last second? Mikaylah Williams.
And just deflates everyone.
Yes. Absolutely.
Also, just to mention, like, the juxtaposition between Texas and LSU, like, Texas comes down and they run their play every time. And LSU is more like feeling the vibes and going for it. But Mikaylah Williams thrives in that offense. Even though it's a little bit chaotic, she looks like she's moving slow the entire time. Like, she looks like how Madison Booker looks on Texas, but Texas always has something in mind of what they're doing. Mikaylah Williams somehow slows down the game of LSU, even though they're moving so quickly.
Yeah. It's really cool to watch. To round us out here on this game, Madison Booker, as we talked about, led Texas with 24 points and 7 rebounds. And then who else but Mikaylah Williams led LSU with 20 points and 7 rebounds.
All right, let's get into Unrivaled.
Oh, I'm so happy it's back. It's just so fun to watch Unrivaled.
It is fun, and the content is just great. I don't know. They just do it so well. I'm so glad that we have this in the off season for the WNBA.
Yeah, me too. It's great.
We're not going to talk about like any specific games, but let's get into overall feels.
I'm feeling sad.
Tell me more about that.
The Lunar Owls, who I claimed as the team I want to back, it's not looking too good.
They're not looking too hot.
We have already talked about Nafisa's going to be out the whole season because of her double ankle surgery. And then Skylar Diggins has been out, which is a crusher for them. And they are getting crushed.
As of now, they lost their first 3 games.
Woof.
And we'll just see what happens. Maybe they can bounce back.
Yeah, we'll see.
You know who's looking good, though?
Yeah.
The Mist. Not the Mist. The Breeze. Sorry, they all kind of sound the same. The Breeze. Paige Beckers and the Breeze. They've won their first 2 games. And in their first game of the season, Paige Beckers comes out, totally dominates with 24 points and 6 assists.
Yeah, she looked really good. I saw a clip before Unrivaled kicked off of Nafisa talking about when she played 3-on-3 with Paige on the USA team. I don't know how long ago that was. And she said Paige was the best player on the court. As we know, 3-on-3 is a much different game than 5-on-5. We're going to talk about Chelsea Gray in just a minute here and how well she plays 3-on-3. And obviously she plays great on 5-on-5 too. But like something just clicks with 3-on-3. And I think it's the same for Paige Beckers. There's been a lot of hype around her coming to Unrivaled. So definitely excited to see her continue to play in this format.
Yeah, and I think, at least for me, I was like, oh, this Breeze team, like, they're so young, they're just going to be fun to watch. But now they're playing well, and it's like, they're going to get some of these oldies a little bit angry if they continue to win.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And then Chelsea Gray. I mean...
we should just rename Unrivaled Chelsea Gray because she just dominates. I mean, you could do it the same in the WNBA, too. She is an amazing player.
Her passing, her shooting, her dribbling, just so good. And... in the first 2 games of the season, she hits the game winner. It just sends people. People just love it.
As a reminder, she plays for the Rose. They played Vinyl this past weekend. Vinyl were up headed into the 3rd quarter, and the Rose comes storming back, and she hits a game-winning 3 that is deep and just a wild shot. And she makes it, and they win 69-67. She finishes that game with 23 points. I don't know why I'm still surprised that she does this, but it's just so cool to watch.
Yeah. In the first game, she had over 30 points. So continue to watch Chelsea Gray. You won't be disappointed.
And those are our overall takeaways from Unrivaled week 1.5. We'll see what happens as we continue on.
All right. With that, let's get into some Women's Sports Weekly updates, starting with Run Club. We are back on Thursdays at 6 p.m. at the 99ers Sports Bar here in Denver. Come run with us. We hang out after at the bar, get some drinks, talk, laugh. And if you listen to our podcast and share the secret word each week with the bartenders, you will get 50% off your first draft. The secret word this week is Unrivaled.
We also need to take this time to ask you to please rate and subscribe to our podcast. Please, please, please. We love putting this podcast together. We create, produce, and edit it all by ourselves. So if you want to support us, rate, subscribe, give us a positive review. It goes such a long way for a small podcast like us. So please, please do it and share this podcast with the people you love. Thank you to everyone who has rated the podcast so far. If you send us a screenshot of your 5-star rating, we will send you a Women's Sports Weekly sticker. Okay, let's get into our deep dive for this week. I'm so excited to talk about this. I've become obsessed so fast. This is how I do everything.
I was just going to say, you get interested in something and it is game over for everyone.
I know. I don't know why I'm like this. I kind of like this side of me. It's also probably like very annoying for you and my friends and family around me when I find this new thing that I just zero in on and it's the only thing I want to talk about. But we're talking about the 2026 U.S. Figure Skating Championships. And figure skating is just the coolest thing ever.
Figure skating is one of those sports, when the Olympics come around, it's something that's like, why isn't this on the TV all the time? Because it's so fun to watch. And with these skating championships leading into the Olympics. It has been on the TV, so we've been getting to see a lot of it.
Yes, so let's talk about this a little bit more. Amber Glenn won the women's title at the 2026 U.S. Figure Skating Championship. She beat reigning world champion Alysa Liu and Isabeau Levito to secure her third consecutive national title. All three of these women made it to the Olympic team, and all three of them are medal contenders, and all three of them are arguably gold medal contenders.
Whoa, that's going to be intense when that's just the U.S. alone.
I know. And this is the first time in a really long time that we have American women who have like a gold medal contention. So this is why this is so important. Amber Glenn and Alysa Liu obtained the highest scores in history in the women's short program at the U.S. Figure Skating Championship this past weekend. All three of them are peaking at the exact right time. I also think it's very interesting because when I've watched figure skating in the past, it's been very young women, like teens. And the youngest person is Isabeau Levito, and she is 18 years old. And then Alysa Liu is 20 years old. And Amber Glenn, who won, is 26 years old, which is considered pretty old.
Wow.
At 26, she will be the oldest U.S. women's single skater to compete at the Olympics in 98 years.
Wow. It reminds me of gymnastics in a sense, because I feel like there's some sports where it's not uncommon for people to play into their 30s. It's still like, oh, wow, you're still going. But 26, that seems like a baby to me.
I know. They are little babies. As I mentioned, Isabeau is the youngest. She's from New Jersey. And they are all young. And their post-championship press conference, all three of them get along great, and it was totally unhinged. It actually reminded me of Connor Story and Hudson Williams from Heated Rivalry, of just a little bit chaotic. Mm-hmm. So worth the watch if you want to see that. I want to dive in a little bit more to Alysa Liu and Amber Glenn. So Alysa Liu, she won the 2019 U.S. Championship at 13 and then won it again at 14. So she started very, very young professionally. In 2022 at the Beijing Olympics, she finished 6th. And then after that Olympics, she announced her retirement from figure skating at the age of 16.
Oh, okay.
I did a little bit more research on her. She grew up with a single dad, and she's the oldest of 5. And her dad got her into skating, and he was very involved. And it was a lot very, very early. She actually said that when COVID happened, she was thankful she couldn't go into the rink. Like, she was hoping COVID lasted forever so that she didn't have to skate anymore.
I can't imagine how demanding this sport is. And we talk about a lot on this podcast about when it's an individual sport, the pressure. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine the pressure these athletes put on themselves and naturally other people put on them. I have empathy for her.
For sure. And she still has a relationship with her dad, which is great. But after 2 years, she went back to skating. She didn't tell her dad. She just started practicing. She reached out to her previous coaches without telling her dad and said, I want to get back into it. They were kind of like, are you sure you want to do this? But she took more charge of her own career and said she was going to choose her program music. She was going to make creative decisions. She was going to determine how much she skated. She said, I don't want any more comments about how much I eat. So all of those things. And her dad was no longer part of her team. So just kind of took control of it. And in June of 2024, she started training again full time. So in 2025 of this year, she won the World Figure Skating Championships in Boston and is considered, even though Amber Glenn won this past weekend, coming into this weekend, she was considered the front runner for an Olympic gold.
Wow. That's a really cool story.
Very cool. On top of that, she's very good friends with Amber Glenn, and the entire time at the U.S. Figure Skating Championship, she was clapping for her, cheering her on. Alysa Liu went into the first place spot. She watched Amber Glenn go, saw Amber Glenn beat her score, and was so excited for her.
That's sweet.
Yeah, she also said that she doesn't care if she wins a medal. She just wants people to feel something when they watch her. And I don't know, she just has this great outlook on skating. She's got this cool piercing through her
the fangs
that look like fangs on her teeth. Her hair's multicolored. It's really cool to see someone say I'm going to do things, but I'm going to do them my way and still be successful. And to talk to that, Amber Glenn does the exact same thing. So Amber Glenn, who ends up winning this U.S. championship. She's the first openly queer women's single skater on Team USA. She is pansexual, and she will be the first queer woman on the U.S. Olympic figure skating team.
Yay, gays.
Yay, gays. And like, yes, for pansexual visibility. We love that. In the U.S. championship, she hit her triple axel, which none of the other women even attempted. And only a handful of skaters in the world can do that. So just a ton of power. She also stepped away from figure skating and came back. She stepped away in 2015 when she was diagnosed with anxiety, depression, and an eating disorder. One of her friends actually contacted her parents to get her help, which I just think is so scary to do and so amazing to do as well. I think that just sets such a good example, but a friend knew that she needed help.
That's a good friend right there.
That is a good friend.
I hope they're still friends.
Me too. Me too.
Because I know that could have went one of two ways.
So she entered into a mental health facility. Like, also shout out to her parents, because when someone is that good at what they're doing, it could be easy to be like, well, figure out a way, just keep doing what you're doing. But for them to be like, no, we're going to get you the help you need is extremely amazing. She was 16 at the time. She took off from professional skating for 6 months before she returned. And it took her time to get back to that professional level of skating. She wasn't just winning immediately. Right. So now she's back. Like we mentioned, this is her third consecutive national title. She's going to be the oldest the oldest figure skater for the U.S. in 98 years. And the thing that I really like about Amber Glenn is when she finished her performance, she let out like this really big yell. And it reminded me so much of women's basketball when something goes really well in women's basketball and they scream loud. I've never seen that in figure skating. And to see someone who identifies as queer, who's older, I'm putting that in air quotes because 26 is not old, and figure skating is so buttoned up, it's so feminine, it's so tiny, she's just taking up space. It's really, really cool to see. I'm so excited to see this US figure skating team.
I love that.
Have I sold you on all three of them?
You have.
Yay. Okay, good. All right, let's get into what we're looking forward to this week. Danielle, who do you have?
Oh, we're finally going to a live women's basketball game.
We went in Brooklyn.
Yes. Okay, let me rephrase. We're finally getting to a CU women's basketball game this year because we haven't been yet this year. We get to see Audie Crooks because CU will be playing Iowa State this Wednesday, January 14th at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Look for us in the stands. My favorite thing to say when we're going to games live.
No, you really hope that halftime they'll ask for you to come down.
Yes, I mean that's really what I hope for all the time,
so you can hit a half court shot.
Yeah,
that's all Danielle wants.
Yep. I know we're excited to see Audie Crooks. She leads the NCAA in points per game with 28.7, and Iowa State was undefeated, but now they're on a 3-game losing streak. Will this be another upset?
I mean, CU could use the win, you know?
Yeah, so I'm definitely excited for that game this week. How about you?
Yeah, and I want to see Audie Crooks be dominant, so I hope it goes well for them.
Yeah.
I would love to see a good game, but what I'm looking forward to, I'm still focused on the PWHL. You can't get me out of hockey. The New York Sirens will play the Minnesota Frost on Friday, January 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. The New York Sirens look so good. And it's awesome to see that because these past couple of years, they have not been good. They didn't make it to the playoffs. But as of Sunday, Minnesota was second in the rankings and New York was third. So it's going to be a good matchup. And I love to see Minnesota lose. So I'm hoping the Sirens win. Also wanted to mention that the Sirens announced that they're going to play a game at Madison Square Garden, like historic Madison Square Garden in New York City on Saturday, April 4th versus the Seattle Torrents. So if you live in the New York City area, buy those tickets now so that Madison Square Garden knows that people want to watch the PWHL in New York City.
Yeah, and I know some players are really excited about this, and it is a big deal. So if you can support, you should.
Do it. That is it for this week. We will see you next week on Women's Sports Weekly. In the meantime, watch women's sports and share the podcast with your friends. Rate and subscribe to the pod on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Buzz-a-vida.